Good afternoon. We are continuing our breaking news coverage of the wildfire in San Jacinto County near the Montgomery County line. Take a look at this new video of a crew dropping water over that fire. Right now, roughly 2,000 acres are burning, which has led to school closures at Cleveland ISD. The fire is 20% contained. Montgomery County officials have issued new evacuations for people who live near there. The Montgomery County judge says he's hoping to have that fire contained in the next 3 days. Thank you for taking time out of your day to join KHOU 11 Plus. I'm Cheryl Mercedes. We've got team coverage for you this afternoon. Jason Miles and Victor Jacobo are near the location of the fire. We start with Jason Miles. Jason, where are you and what can you tell us this afternoon?
Hey there, Cheryl. We're in the Fostoria community specifically. This store behind me, kind of a gathering spot. In fact, I'm told multiple people stayed here overnight in their vehicles after evacuating their nearby homes. Now, the wildfire we continue to talk about is actually in this direction over here. If you look at the pine trees, my photographer Mark is panning over there. Beyond those trees is where the fire is located. And I don't know if you've seen a comparison between the amount of smoke yesterday or late yesterday afternoon compared to today. It's dramatically decreased. I hope that's a good sign. Meantime, we got a close-up look at the southern edge of the fire a little earlier. We were later asked to clear that scene, by the way. That's where we saw fire crews putting out hot spots, even cutting down smoldering trees that may produce embers that could blow around later and potentially cause other issues in areas adjacent to where the fire is burning now or has burned. One family who split last night returned today to see all that charred ground just feet from where they live.
Came home yesterday, the smoke was everywhere. Obviously it was coming from the north down to wind was coming south. So we basically packed everything up and loaded all the vehicles just in case, and shortly thereafter the fire department came down and said, get out. And they basically put about 5 engines in our front yard, around the yard. Said they'd do the best they could to protect the houses. Obviously, they did a good job.
Yeah, I'd say so. And that family actually had a good idea for others who may be in this situation now or later. They have what they call a fire box. All their important documents go into that box. It is fireproof. They try to take it with them, but if it has to stay behind, at least those documents and other things may be protected if a fire does indeed sweep through. Those crews we caught up with from all over the state. In fact, we saw one crew from Johnson County, Texas. They're part of a statewide task force, if you will, that go around battling fires, and they just happen to be in our area this week. Reporting live in the Fostoria community in San Jacinto County, Jason Miles, KHOU 11 News.
Yeah, Jason, some of those things like documents and important pictures you just cannot replace. Thank you so much. Stay safe out there. Right now, many parents with children at Cleveland ISD schools are waiting to see if their kids are going back to school tomorrow. The district was forced to close today because of the fire. The district says they are monitoring the situation and have plans to have an update sometime today on their plans for tomorrow and next week. If you're in Montgomery County or San Jacinto County, we've got some evacuation locations for you. Here's a list of the ones happening in Montgomery County. They include Holstein Drive, Boers Run, and Grant Lake Circle. As for the evacuations in San Jacinto County, some of those include Pauline Road, Kirby Road, and Big Buck Road. You can read more about the evacuations and incident locations at khou.com. Other evacuations include livestock. Take a look at this video sent us last night, showing various goats, cows, and other animals being evacuated for their own safety.
Man, I tell you, we got to be prepared for anything in the last days. Man, we are out here. We got some people right now bringing their animals out here. We just got a bunch of goats and sheep out here, horses, and more horses coming, and cattle coming throughout the night. People's in real bad shape over this fire, so need to help them any way we can.
As we mentioned at the top of this web show, right now crews are working to take the fire that has burned at least 2,000 acres under control. We want to take you back out to the area. Victor Jacobo is live in Montgomery County. And Victor, we understand that you just got an interview. What's the latest information this afternoon?
Yeah, that's right. I just spoke with Montgomery County Judge Mark Keogh. He was giving me an update of the situation that's very fluid right now. He says that while some progress was made overnight, that it has grown in size here in the area. We're just off of 105. This is the command post. I kind of want to give you an idea of where we're at right now. You can kind of see the different crews and different agencies coming together here at this command post as they have gathered. This is kind of like where the nucleus is of where all this information is being shared and delivered. So I just spoke with him. He says it has grown a little bit in size and that it remains around 15 to 20% or so contained. But even as they are battling this, there is, a certain silver lining, as we have seen here. A lot of folks in the community come out and drop off food and water, showing their support for the different crews, the different agencies who continue to battle this fire. I spoke with one of the people who came to drop off some of that food, and he told me he lives in this area. He had to make some quick decisions late last night with his friends and family. Take a listen to what he had to say when I spoke to him earlier. How's your home? How are your friends and family?
Yeah. So our friends and family is doing good. We evacuated our horses last night. I had my daughter go stay with with my mom, her mother-in-law. As far as everybody in the neighborhood, we do have some friends at the back of the neighborhood that did have to evacuate. The fire got very, very close to their house on North Doug Road. Yeah, mandatory evacuation on North Doug. We were kind of sitting there about 2 o'clock in the morning, not really knowing if we were going to have to move or not. So we were up pretty late last night and back up again early this morning, and we're really just trying to help out where we can.
So that gives you an idea of kind of the rapid situation that many people in this area had to face, not just people, but their property as well as livestock and pets, and making those decisions really late at night, waiting the wee hours of the morning here in this area. But the mobile command center here is where, they've been providing a lot more information. They say they hope to provide us an update later today. They hope to have some good news, but again, that concern and what we've experienced here is certainly this wind continues coming out of the north, and that is a concern for these officials as they continue to battle this fire. But we'll bring you the latest updates as we get them here at this mobile command center. For now, I'll send it back to you in studio.
Hey, Victor, question for you. The items you have behind you, is that a point of distribution for only the firefighters working that scene there, or has there been a similar point of distribution set up for some residents who have been evacuated?
Yeah, so I spoke with the commissioner as well as the judge just a few moments ago, and they told me that they are really appreciative of this, and this is certainly the community coming to show their support for the different crews here. They're going to have some more information posted on the different websites that they have had, as well as their social media for the county judge and commissioner, so be sure to be on the lookout for that to be able to understand where you can have some of those resources. They also mentioned there's also a community center where people can have some shelter should they need it. As of right now, they say there's not a huge demand for that, but they say they are providing that. So certainly different resources that they have been providing for folks, as well as the community coming out and stepping up to provide for that as well. So we'll have some of that more information later today.
Great. Glad to hear it. Thank you so much, Victor. Stay safe. As soon as we get that information, we'll be sure to post it on khou.com. Well, today's dry and windy conditions are playing a factor in battling those flames out there. You heard it from our reporters. Let's send things over to Cheetah Craft for more on the weather impact.
We are under a weather impact alert because we have strong winds and really dry conditions, and that's leading to this high fire danger. Now, right now, sustained winds overall working from the north to the south, and they're sustained around 15 to 20 miles per hour with gusts around 25 to even at times upwards of 30 miles per hour. And that is why the National Weather Service issued this red flag warning for day number 2 for all of our counties across southeast Texas. This is in effect until 7 o'clock this evening, and it's also combined with the dry conditions. Some of our relative humidity this afternoon may be below 18%. That's really kind of a desert southwest relative humidity. Ours is usually much higher than that. Now, the actual fire is in San Jacinto County, but it's just right along the cusp there between Montgomery, Liberty, and San Jacinto County. Now, with a north to south wind, it's taking the smoke and it's going to be pushing that southward. So what I did is I'm showing you the future track of where potentially that smoke could move in. Northeast of Montgomery County into central Montgomery County. Here's Willis Conroe just east of that, but that's what we'll be monitoring. Even the potential for some changes in the air quality. You know, I haven't seen that yet. I've been watching this all morning long. So far, so good. And I like to see that. If that changes, of course, we'll let you know. Now, our future track wind gusts, we stay on the breezy side to gusty at times, even through your afternoon. This is 2:30 today. And notice some of our future track wind gusts are around 20, maybe at times 25 miles per hour. But even once we get until about 5, 6 o'clock this evening, winds start to weaken just a little bit. But this is what's going to be the initial change of some lighter winds as we go into our Friday forecast. And then eventually those winds are going to change more out of the southeast by Friday midday and afternoon. The latest drought report was released earlier this morning, and notice how it's starting to expand. So the dry conditions are now starting to barely creep into portions of Waller and Fort Bend. This was only in effect for our extreme western, but now our extreme western counties are getting into that moderate drought category. Once I expand this map, you can see from San Antonio into West Texas, they're under exceptional drought conditions. So we do need a little bit of rain. Higher humidity is expected starting tomorrow, slightly. And then I think Saturday is really when you're going to notice an increase in the relative humidity. That's all thanks to a southeast wind. Now today we're at a moderate level as far as our fire danger goes, which is actually an improvement from yesterday. That's because winds are just a little bit calmer, but this is still something to take note. You know, we're so dry and those winds are still fairly strong that if anything were to spark, it would spread pretty quickly. So the future track of our humidity, again this afternoon, there could be times where the humidity drops below 18%. Our winds start to shift out of the southeast starting Friday afternoon, and then Saturday you're going to wake up and you'll notice a big difference. So southeasterly winds pick up some of that Gulf moisture. You know, it spreads it across, typically in the form of clouds. That's why when we get these pure sunny days, we don't get them often, and it can be really beautiful. But because it's so dry right now, that's what's leading to the high fire danger. You know, the winds are really mixing up the pollen. All my allergy sufferers, you know, we're focusing on the fire, but take note of the pollen. Under the tree category, the oak number spiked. Yesterday it was a little bit over 1,000. Today we're almost pushing 8,000. That's really, really bad. You see that oak pretty much spread all across your neighborhoods. Heavy levels there with your grass, low with your ragweed and mold spores, but pollen is really a problem. Today is the first official day of spring. It started at 4:01 this morning. Temperature-wise, we're staying in the low 70s. It's just so dry and so breezy. That's what's leading to that elevated fire risk throughout the day today. Similar conditions for tomorrow, except winds start to weaken and then they'll change directions out of the south. That will increase the cloud cover overnight for your Saturday. And then Sunday is our next cold front. Also the next chance for some showers, maybe even some thunderstorms. We will be watching that carefully. I know it's the last day of rodeo. We are going to keep you posted with the latest conditions from the fire. And of course, if anything changes, we'll let you know.
All right, thanks, Cheetah. Just minutes ago, our Victor Jacobo got an update from Montgomery County Judge Mark Keogh about the conditions there. Let's take a listen.
Judge, talk to me about containment and talk to me about the status right now.
Okay, the status is we were here last night. I left out of here about 1:30. We were at 1,300 acres burning. I got back here just a little before 7 o'clock this morning. We had 2,000 burning. At last check, we have 2,380 burning. So it is advanced. We have a direct wind from the north. The biggest issue right now is you have a drop in humidity and you have an increase in wind. So when you get 20, 25 mile per hour gusts, I was just looking at all the gusts. That's what it's hitting at. And what we saw last night is the gusts were causing it to top over the trees, and then you have embers going everywhere, and that's what becomes catastrophic. So that's what we saw last night. We probably got 15 to 20% contained right now, but that's all relative. Because the big time we're watching right now is between 1 and 4 o'clock, because that's a time when you're going to see the lowest humidity and the highest amount of wind, and here we are. And as I was standing over there a little while ago, you can just see the wind increasing. So, but Commissioner Gregg, he's been out here with me as well, and this is his precinct, Precinct 4. Commissioner, tell us from your perspective what's going on.
Thank you, Judge. Yeah, so it kicked up. The wind has been very intense. All the agencies here involved, the state, everybody across all levels have been all hands on deck. We've got heavy equipment here. We got birds in the sky dropping water. They're doing a great job on containment. We haven't lost any structures or any loss of life in Montgomery County. I think some small structures lost on the San Jacinto side. We've still got it contained to the San Jacinto side, and we're taking every precaution available that we can exercise. Big thank you to the other counties and the other agencies and everybody who's come out to support us. Really appreciate that. It's been a huge help.
been awesome.
Any changes or updates when it comes to evacuations, or what does that look
Well,
like?
right now we don't have evacuations going on, but we do have 900 people. That's a bunch of those started off as voluntary evacuations, got up to 900. It was mandatory. Here's the deal about this. Some people say, well, we don't want to leave our home. And we just want to tell this to the people. We're not going to handcuff you. We're not going to make you leave. This is America, right? And this is Montgomery County. The other side of that is we are not running around just arbitrarily telling people to leave their homes. What we're asking is, look, there's a potential loss of life here, and you need to leave. So if they decide to stay, here's what they're doing. They're endangering their lives. But now when it does get to their home, now they're calling us. Now they're endangering the first responders' lives. And you know what? Their neighbors are watching because nobody wants to leave their home. Well, Joe down the street is not leaving, so we're going to stay here as well. So when it could have just been the one family leaving, now you got first responders at stake, the family, plus their neighbors. And that is a great message, because in Montgomery County, we're about freedom, we're about independence, we're about doing your own deal. But man, you do your own deal, you don't endanger other people while you're doing it.
Absolutely. Anything else you guys want to add? I mean, the support, we saw some people just dropping off food and water. It seems pretty great, everybody coming together.
Yeah, so the community support has been great, outpouring of all the support and love. We would ask that you guys kind of stand down on the supplies and coming out due to the increased traffic, and there's so many agencies working through here right now. It kind of gets bungled up and jumbled up, so appreciate the support, but let's stand down and try to keep the traffic off of 105. We're looking forward to the weather laying down. Hopefully we'll have some good news to report tonight. The mandatory evacuation was on the East Montgomery County side, Peach Creek Plantation. And as the judge said, please stay out until we put out a communication letting you know that it's safe to come back. We opened up shelters in case anyone did not or does not know. East Montgomery County Community Center is open if you don't have resources or family to go stay at. We do have that available. And we've got Bull Salas Park, the Conroe Montgomery County Fairgrounds, and Caney Creek Cowboy Church for any livestock needs you have. That's where we outsourced and moved all the cattle and horses and what have you too. So,
Commissioner, Judge, thank you so much. Appreciate you guys.
Coming out. Appreciate it.
Y'all take care.
Montgomery County officials saying the fire has grown to 2,300 acres. Low humidity, high gusts are proving to be challenging. The hours of right now, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. are critical this afternoon for battling those flames in terms of weather impact. Stay right here for the latest. We'll have the updates for you. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here for KHOU 11 News at 4. Make sure to download our free KHOU 11 app as we continue to track the fire and turn on those notifications to get the latest updates. Take care.